One,
One,
two, three.
two, three. How to wizard.
That came out terribly. We
It
practiced.
don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We didn't practice.
How to wizard.
You said that's what we're gonna do, and we did it.
Yeah, we both did our own. So this is the video. We're gonna teach you how to be a wizard in
Just
the game.
a little bit. Yeah, in this game.
We're not gonna teach you how to be a legend because that's the other part of this game.
Yeah.
that we don't even know how.
Nah, we know how to be wizards
All right.
though.
But simple video. We're just gonna show you like basic stuff of like how we process the game and how you guys think we're so good at it.
Yeah. So we're gonna start from the beginning, the basics. So think about how you want the run to go. We'll always start with the robe.
Yeah.
The robe dictates what we're gonna take from here on out.
Do you want armor? Do you want evade chance? Do you want crits, run speed, or like...
Yeah, like,
everything?
Depending on what kind of build you want to have, how you want to play, that will dictate your robe. I'm starting with the basic red robe, because it just gives small general changes, but I like the ones that it gives.
Yeah. If you guys are really wanting just basic health boosts, go with the pink robe. It's right across from you. There you go. One, left. There. Spirit. Increases max health and healing received. You get 32 health per health orb instead of 25. It is so nice keeping you alive if that's your only problem during the game.
If your problem isn't killing the things or killing the bosses, it's staying alive, Spirit is a good way to go. Because with Spirit, you can kind of have whatever other spells and item you want that goes... Like, your item can go with your spells.
Yeah.
The rogue bonus for this one can simply be survivability.
Yep.
So whatever your issue, if you're having an issue with the game, pick a build according to that.
Yeah.
If you're not having an issue with like a lot of things, go with what you need. So like if you want more advanced builds, that's like the evade chance or the crit chance ones.
Or the signature charge robes.
Or signature charge robes. Those ones are more specified.
Niche.
But if you need something just to help you stay alive, like grit, you take less damage and you have more health. Yep. Avarice, you just gain more gold. Those ones are pretty nice buffs that will help you through the run. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other ones are just more specialized, will help you have more fun with what you're trying to do.
Yep.
Don't go for these hard ones until you're ready.
These are challenge robes.
Yeah, these are challenges. Don't do it.
Alright, but for this video, we're going to stick to this robe.
So we're going with the red robe for the most things. And then the spells.
Yeah, we choose our spells afterwards because we have what we want in mind with our robe. If we want to go for crits or whatever, we choose spells based on those.
And if you want to use this exact build that I'm using, kind of built it specifically because it's pretty easy to pick up. It's a
basic comboing build. It's very good. It has long range and close range, and it can be used by anybody.
Movement to get in and out. It's got a lot of versatility to it. But of course, with the spells, pick the spells that you like, that you know well, and you can use them.
Yes. And
I would say for beginners, stay away from the charged ones.
Yes, they do take a lot of getting used to, unless like you're brand new and you have no like experience in the game. You can use the charge spells.
But that means none, because you have no baseline for anything. For people who are new to the game but new to these spells, I would say learn the enemy's attacks first.
Yes.
So that you can time it better.
And we'll get into that. But for now, whatever abilities you choose, make sure you know their cooldowns.
Yes. So typically with these guys that are in here, which they need to, they're gonna be coming eventually. You would practice with those guys. Okay? Yeah. Let's summon them eventually.
But after you choose your spells and whatever you want, you can come down here and get your item. Your starting item.
And we kind of talked about it. The two really good starting items for kind of anybody, the Surefire Rocket, because there's not much to it.
It goes with any build.
Yeah.
It lets you just not have decaying signature charge.
Yeah, you don't have to be going for a signature charge build for this to help you out.
Because most signatures are very useful.
Mm-hmm. And then for offense, the other item, just the Amulet of Sunder.
Yes, it's a very basic item.
I think it's an 8% increase.
Something like that, 5 or 8.
Let's just check it.
You can check
8%.
everything in the inventory.
Yeah, so that's just a flat damage increase. And in my opinion, if you were going to get an item from the defense category, there's two that I could say would be good. Giant's Heart, simply more health.
Yep, very good item.
And then Heavy Travel Jacket.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be getting relics.
For each relic. So the more relics you have, the more defense you get.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't. Those are two items that you don't need any other item for it to do well.
Yep. Yeah. So now that you have a build hopefully built up in your character, you will now train against these dummies and know your abilities very well. Like, that's the main focus of what we usually do, is like even before we start a run, we're in here shooting these guys so we know the exact limits. And I'm talking, you have to know their cooldowns, you have to know how much you can move them with that ability. Clinton has to know the range of all his abilities so that they shoot and hit the enemy correctly.
You kind of want to judge a maximum and a minimum distance.
Because sometimes if you're too close to an enemy, a spell might not hit.
Yeah.
But the spells that we've chosen hit from any distance, or any close distance, I should say.
And then something else that's good to note, find out those little things that might not come in handy, but you'll think about. Like, if I'm super close to an enemy, they get hit twice by one ball, because they get hit by it leaving and coming back. Whereas if they're just out there, they could only get hit by it once.
Yep. See how it's only once? But yeah. Know those little things, and they might help you in the future during like a critical point, like when you're just spamming your buttons to try and get out of a corner. It does help. But yeah, know your abilities.
So then next,
we're gonna go outside.
We're gonna go outside, talk about some of the NPCs, when to, when not to.
Before you start a run, basically.
Easiest one to start with, this girl. There's really a few reasons why you would get them. If you're confident in your ability to at least make it deeper into the dungeon, I would say always go with this.
If you
200 gold. Nice.
If you can get past the first 2 floors, you'll have gotten a. If you beat the first council member,
yes,
you will have gotten your investment back.
Yes,
okay?
and
more,
more,
and more in gems. So it's definitely worth if you think you can make it that far. If not, it's still a good thing because you can take it and get more items than you're used to, and that might help you go the extra distance.
So, like, if you've been playing through a bunch and you're struggling and such, and you're thinking to yourself, I need to save up my gems to get more items and spells, you really don't. The number of items and spells that you have available to yourself gives you custom ability, but doesn't guarantee anything. If you're having trouble getting through, maybe getting these extra coins in the beginning will give you that boost you need, like, getting that item you might need, or being able to get the health potion you might not have been able to before. That can help you. This guy, he just makes everything random. There's no... do that when you want some fun. If I would say...
if you're just... you don't have a build in mind.
Yes.
Do him. See what he comes up with for you.
Yeah, you
but
might
he does
like it.
Cost gems, so you could just randomize it yourself for free.
For intermediate players who are just looking to familiarize themselves with a different combination of stuff, I would say that's a good way to just, because when you're playing through on your own, you choose what you pick up, you choose what you start with. But getting this will give you more experience with other spells to where you'll be like, okay, this spell isn't all that bad. This guy,
once you beat the game,
when you beat the game, you'll unlock him, and
he's not for beginners.
None of these would be for beginners. So I would say for this guide, just don't touch him. This guy, important. So if you're playing through and you're struggling with certain council members more than others on later floors, this guy will start the first floor out with whoever you lost to before.
So if you died to the fire floor or boss, you'll start with the fire boss. In this dungeon. Or
if you've beaten the game, it will be random. So this is a way for you to be like, what floor? Like, it give you the option to start with one floor. But that one is the lightning floor, which honestly, I think I might do that just for the... Oh, and you can keep changing it. So, like, you can just keep going back to this guy, and he's like, oh, do you want to start here? And you're like, no. Like, do you want to start here? No.
Living Courtyards is the earth floor, if you don't know that. But yeah, so that's what he does.
I'm not going to do that, though. This is just hard mode. This is just for challenge.
It makes all the enemies harder.
It makes every floor as if it was the third floor. Right from the beginning.
Would not recommend for beginners.
This guy...
Seville.
He gives you a specific set of buffs for your robe.
He basically changes your robes to the Seville robes, which give you max HP plus 5%, run speed plus 12%, evade chance plus 8%, and cooldowns minus 8%.
Yeah, so if we look at the robes that I have, this one also has 5% health, but it has less movement speed.
Yep.
And then there's damage and crit chance, but those ones get replaced with evade and cooldowns.
Yep. And minus 8% cooldowns is a good thing because that's lowering your cooldowns.
Mm-hmm. If you have anything that increases your cooldowns, that's bad. That means it will take more time for you to be able to do stuff.
Yep.
All right, and now we're gonna hop into it to part 2. So we'll see you inside the dungeon.
Bada.
All right. So next, we're gonna get into understanding what enemies do and how to get around it.
Okay, so yeah, this part's going to be mainly about all the enemy attacks and who you should prioritize in a room when you first enter.
Mm-hmm.
So when Clinton entered, we saw the 2 mages spawn and then the rogue spawn.
So what the game wants you to do, the game wants you to fight the mages and not realize the rogue is coming for you.
Yeah.
The rogue will deal more damage than the mages, but it can't shoot you from afar. Not on the first floor, at least. So, like, looking at the enemies and you see just before they attack, they light up. And then it takes a bit for them to move out. Something to realize is when the shots are right there in front of them, you can run into them. Yep. So you need to be weary if you're using
as
melee.
Long as an attack is present, it can hurt you.
So all the game wants me to do is to fight those mages so that the rogue can come up from behind me. So prioritizing the thief first, break their line of sight so they can't hit you, and then you can fight the rogue as you need to without worrying about a ranged enemy. Yep. And then once they're dead, like once he's dead, they've got nothing to stop me from just killing them.
Uh-huh. Or you can take the other route, and since Clinton has a bunch of AoE spells, he could have just grouped them up like he was doing, walking around.
Like in this room. Like, they're going to keep their distance. But I have spells that say, oh, you want to keep your distance? Not about that.
He has movement. He has very fast spells that go off. And he can keep his distance while also closing the distance very fast. So he knows what his spells does, and he can continue doing what he needs to do to get closer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a room, like this room specifically, you guys are going to get a lot. You're going to get on every floor all the time. It's going to be in this setup.
I call it the Z room, honestly, because it looks like a Z to me.
But with this one, they're like with the first one, if it's just these melee guys, you can just like keep them grouped up. And just keep them a medium distance away, and they can't hurt you.
I mean, you did get hit.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just kind of being lax about it.
Okay. Another thing to do is learning how to dodge, as Clinton has been showing.
I haven't been using my dashes. No. You want to use your dashes to dodge.
Yeah. Don't try to walk out of the range of spells because more often than not, they'll be longer than you think.
Mm-hmm. I've just been trying to not hurt them with my dash.
Yes.
So I've just been keeping at it.
And then while in the middle of a fight, learning how to dodge, learn how to reposition yourself while dodging so that you can use your spells to an advantage.
So it's like, I'm going to put myself in a bad spot. So it's like right here. You could dash straight through them to get away, but what that does is that it takes less time for the enemies to re-engage on you.
And they have a chance to hit you if while your back is to them. So
like you want to dash in a complete perpendicular away from where they're moving.
Yeah.
Not from where you are, but from where they're moving. Which is, I know it's weird, but when you have a lot of enemies coming at you from different directions, it makes more sense.
And then use your spells as you gain them.
So like you can use them to keep their distance, and you don't have to keep attacking. Like if you want to attack once, move away, because it'll stop them for a sec. Yeah. Not once they get the shield, these guys are different.
Yeah, knowing enemy types is very important as well, because some of those knights on different floors will reflect spells, or they might be null to those types of damages. But as you can see, Clinton is positioning himself to an advantageous position to these long-range characters. He's forcing them to follow him. He's waiting for his cooldowns to come back, and he's using them when they're open to him.
Oh, and this was something we were talking about earlier. This is a new room, if you guys haven't seen. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
You want stuff? Here's stuff.
If you want this, it's very good.
Which
always take it, or always open it, I should say.
I'm just going to pick this stuff up, because it's there.
Okay.
And then... Ooh, because we've got the opportunity, it's just now picking up. When and when not to take cursed items.
Yes.
So, most of the cursed items that you're going to want are going to hurt you. If you pick up a cursed item and it doesn't do something negative to you, it's probably not going to help you that much.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Realistically. Like this one.
Ominous Loan Note. It's a very common one, honestly.
Yeah, it's very common.
Very good.
You get a bunch of gold, but you have to pay it back. So it doesn't really hurt you all that much.
And you can only pay it back on the following floors. You cannot start to pay it back on this floor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to take it at the end of a floor so you can start paying it back immediately next floor. Okay? Mm-hmm. Unless you need money immediately for health or whatnot. Which gets into my next segment is when to use a health potion.
Yes.
So Clinton, if you want to run over to the shop real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I'm super glad I got the map.
Right? But so every floor has a shop, and every shop has a health potion. It's right over here in the corner now. Away from everything. Try not to auto that shield on the wall, because you might end up buying the health potion.
Yeah, if you want to break that shield, use your Y ability.
Or stand off to the side.
Yeah.
We've done it too many times. But when to buy a health potion? So the health potion gives you a certain percentage of your max health back.
It is not a set number. It is dependent on how much health you have.
So if Clinton has 525 max health, it'll give him, what, 220 something? It starts off at about 50% max health, I'm pretty sure. And as you use more and more health potions, that will degrade.
Yes, so the amount of health you get per health potion in one run goes down.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure to effectively use them. So if I was missing 100 health, it probably would not be a good idea for me to take the health potion.
No.
Because it would heal me all the way to max, and then that extra healing is lost.
Unless you have an item like the takeout food box, it puts your extra max health healing into a shield, which is very good if you want that. But you should probably wait if you're going to max out your health with a health potion until the next floor if you think you can survive. If you don't think you can survive, take it. Because it's always better to be safe than sorry.
There wasn't really anything to learn in here. That's an easy room.
It's the thing to learn is that this room appears very often.
Yes.
There's a bunch of rooms that appear often in these dungeons. And we knew that there's going to be 3 enemies in the top left and 3 enemies in the top or bottom right. And we knew how they would spawn and what enemies would spawn. So Clinton knew how to engage one group of enemies and then go back to the other group.
Mm-hmm. And then just using your spells effectively. Like this spell, that does a pretty good amount of damage, but it's most effective at pulling the enemies off the map.
Yeah, you can move them wherever you want, and if you just go near a ledge, they will fall off. So utilizing spells to their fullest advantage. And in here, we know that enemies will spawn.
So I wanted to actually specifically do that right now. It may have looked bad, but it's because I used all of my spells right there, which could have gotten me out of that situation had I not used them all.
Yeah.
So having good cooldown, like anticipation on your character for whatever you're using is nice. So right when they got out of that stun for my one ability, my second ability was ready to use on them right then and there.
And it's okay sometimes to use all of your spells on whatever spawns immediately. But if other things are going to be spawning in that room, you might be at a disadvantage if you have higher cooldowns.
Yeah, so always keep something, I would say, try and keep it about 1.5 seconds. And what I mean by that is never be at a point where you are not going to have a spell up and ready to go in 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. And something I want to talk about in this room is that you see how Clinton has 2 spells he can get upgraded right now. You don't always have to upgrade your spells.
Yes.
Make sure to check in your inventory what the upgrade does, because sometimes it just his auto attack might only travel faster and reach longer. That's a very good upgrade. But
there are some upgrades that are not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's upgraded, yes, it does more, but it isn't as helpful as it seems.
It only increases blast radius for his Y ability.
Yeah, it doesn't increase damage, it doesn't increase projectile, it doesn't increase the projectile size either.
Yeah.
It's just the blast radius.
So yeah, there's different types of upgrades. Make sure you check those before you buy them.
Yeah, so like these ones, for these spells, effective. Increases my range on both spells.
Yes. Alright.
I did not go into the boss room.
Okay, we can talk about bosses then when we get there.
Mm-hmm. So, one other note is for something you guys might not know. Those 3 little skulls around around this thing.
The main skull.
If they are lit up, that means there will be more other enemies that spawn. And the way to get that down is to clear the floor of enemies.
Yep. I think when you're about 75% of cleared rooms, it should be at 0 skulls. Which means the minimum amount of enemies will be spawning. So as you see, this is the counter rogue, and he spawns with 3 other rogues with him. And when Clinton engages the other rogues, the master rogue will slowly creep towards you.
And something to note is when they're all invisible, it might be obvious, the main one is the biggest one.
Yes.
Hitting the big one makes the small ones disappear. And something else I want to show you guys about this rogue, you're like, he just chases you, like, when can I attack him? He's always coming at me. You gotta bait him. So let's get rid of that and that. It'll do the same. So you let him start to attack. The second that he stops moving, that's when you move again.
Yep.
That's when he's about to attack, and you just let him have it.
And if you notice, whenever Clinton hits him, he gets stars above his head. And if this might be obvious to some people, but those stars are the amount of seconds he has left until he's not stunned. Okay? So the 5 stars means you have 5 seconds to just wail on him. And they'll slowly count down. Some bosses, like the fire boss, has reduced stun duration. So when you stun her, she might only be stunned for 2 or 3 seconds. And something about items is only buy items that are good for your play style.
Yeah,
Understand how you want to play this game. If you want to be a frontline puncher, pick items that will help you do that. Do not pick items that give you projectile damage and force yourself into a projectile build.
Yes. Or, like, taking items that just do things. Like the sprite. You might think, yeah, a sprite that freezes enemies, that's really good. If you think about it long term, if it doesn't help your build, if your build is about summoning things, go for it, 100%. Yeah. If your build is not about that, the issues you'll run into is attacking an enemy you might not want to attack. So because they will attack bosses. But let's say you are not ready to start your combo yet. You want to wait just a moment, that thing will already attack.
Yep. Alright. So, we've talked about all this stuff. The last thing we need to talk about is focus. How do you focus on, what do you focus on during this game?
Yeah, what do you focus on, how do you focus on it, and how long do you focus on it?
So there's 2 clear objectives that me and Clinton have identified in this game. Is 1, you can focus on your character. So while you're playing the game, you can look solely on your character and play fine.
From, like, looking out from the character.
Yes. Clinton plays this way, and he does just as well as I do, and I play the other direction, is I focus on my enemies. I do not look at my character when playing the game, because I can visualize where he needs to be or where I am at that current time.
And so, like me right now, I don't need to know where those I know where the slimes are, but I don't really need to focus on what they're doing, because when they attack, they move or change in some way.
And then you can split second understand that. Yeah. So identify how you think you play the game and try to focus on one thing, either the enemies or yourself. Try not to focus on too many things at one time, because it'll just make your head hurt and you lose focus. Alright. And then one last thing is co-op.
Yeah, the advantages and disadvantages of co-op.
This game might seem like you guys have seen us play. We play co-op.
And you're like, oh, it must be super easy.
It's so easy playing co-op. There are disadvantages to playing co-op from the single-player version. Yes, you do get more damage from multiple spells and characters, but the disadvantage of co-op would have to be the camera angle, because the camera has to focus between your 2 characters. Now, Clinton, being the frontline fighter that he is, has to go into a fight with
less information.
Because if I'm in the back line and Clinton rushes in, the camera will only move half of his distance.
Yes.
Because it is focused on both of us. So he can only see about a little bit in front of him, whereas in solo, you get to see wherever your character is. And then you had more on that?
Oh, yes. So for solo, one of the disadvantages of playing the game solo is everything will always be attacking you.
Yeah.
There is no unless you're using a summons build, there is nothing else in the game that the enemies will attack.
There is a dash, the ice dash, that leaves a faint clone behind you.
Yeah, but it is slightly more unreliable as to...
Only sometimes will they aim at that clone.
Yes.
And it leaves almost immediately.
Because
so
the enemy aggro is not always attack the enemy that's closest to you.
Yeah.
They don't always do that, and we've seen that firsthand.
All
right. Let's see. I think we'll go ahead and pause it, and then we'll bring up some little council member stuff.
All right. We'll be right.
All right. And then with at the council member, for any new player who has never gotten to a council member, if you need the health, get it, because you can't come back and grab it after the fight.
And there's no detriment to taking that health crystal that we have ever seen.
There's no detriment. There's no bonus for not taking it. There's no... It's health if you need it, take it if you want it. If you need health, take it.
Yep. And if you didn't know, you have to attack it to break it.
Yes.
If you've just been walking past that red crystal, it is health. So, when you enter a boss fight, the gates will close behind you, and she will appear and give you a monologue. During this time, all your cooldowns will reset. Yeah,
so if you've used any of your abilities, you can look in the bottom left, and you can see that they're, like, lit up. If they needed to be cooldown, like, if they were on cooldown, they'd be black.
Okay, so the first thing to talk about is that first floor, this is a 1-3 boss, or what is this floor?
This is floor 1-3.
1-3. This boss will do 3 attacks, 3 abilities, and then she will stop moving. That is the time when you are able to attack her without recompense. So, Clinton can auto-attack her, and she'll be stunned for a small amount of time, like 3 seconds max. And then he can...
I can, do what I need to, keep attacking. But this is actually something I would say that people do. Like, you see what I'm doing? Just keep trying to take her attacks on.
Yep. And on her 3rd attack pattern, she will do her ultimate move, which was that barrage of icicles. And it does hurt if you get hit by it. I will say, like, me and Clinton have both fallen trapped to it, and it will lose half your health bar.
Yeah, you'll get messed up by it.
But if you just do this simple, like, hitting her a little bit, learn how to dodge her abilities.
Yeah, like you can learn the exact timings for things, and all that it does, it just scales the higher floors that you go.
Yep. So
it just becomes a little faster, but you do the exact same thing to get away from it.
So the second council member will do 4 attacks, and then they'll pause for you to attack them. And on the 3rd council member, you will have to dodge 5 attacks, and then you'll have a chance to attack. And this attack is very dangerous if she starts shooting you and you have to walk into a corner. So be very vigilant to where you run.
And what I would say, try to get to that sprint speed first.
Yes.
Because
you can't
dodging, that moment of stopping and then having to start walking, that's when you'll get hit.
You cannot dodge through most attacks of council members.
Yes.
Just know that.
And so what I would say is, like, if the crystals are coming at you, never ever try to dash through it and go the other way. You will get hit and it will hurt a lot.
Unless you have the chaos teleport.
If you have the chaos teleport dash, that's a different story. That's advanced.
That is advanced. Yeah.
This is for beginner players.
Yeah. But as a final note before we send it off, guys.
Yeah. As always, try your hardest. Listen to these, refine your skills, but the most important thing that you can do is get good.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Just put yourself through the ringer, because with us, we just had to play the crap out of this game to find anything out.
We have played this game a lot. It's literally just play until you can know exactly what you're doing. So Clinton has played this room about 50 other times, and he knows that there's going to be slimes and there's going to be 2 knights. And all he has to do is walk around, group them up, hit them. It just comes from plain knowledge. Keep going. Like, me and Clinton, we did not win on our first try.
Ever.
No. I think it took me 4 days of constant playing this game to win. Clinton, on the other hand, is a different story. Don't listen to him. He's too good. But, like, relics like the double toil.
Yes.
That's another thing. Do not take it if you do not feel comfortable.
Yeah, like me, I know I shouldn't take it. I typically always take the Crimson Clover, but I have no need for crit chance.
Yeah.
So I just don't do it.
Alright. But yeah. I really hope you guys get better at this game after learning what we're talking about. If you guys don't understand anything we've said for this game, I'm sorry, but you just gotta get good.
Yeah, just keep practicing.
Keep practicing,
You know,
keep playing.
they say practice makes perfect, but that's like completely real.
I actually think that's a lie. Practice makes habit. Habit makes perfect.
I mean, yeah.
Because you can practice all day long and play badly. But if you practice and practice good, and you make a good habit out of it, you will play better. So play with the intent to learn. Don't just play to try and, like, do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
And remember that winning isn't everything.
No.
Getting better and improving yourself should be the focus. Winning should be an outcome of the focus.
Yep. So yeah, please like, subscribe, share, comment.
If you guys want any specialty tutorials, I don't know exactly what to call it. I'm certain somebody will figure it out in the comments.
Like designed towards a specific build.
Yeah, even though we have plenty of builds, something that I will say right now for the record, if people, like, if they're asking for something we've already done, I'm going to refer them to something we've already done.
Yep.
So if somebody says, oh, what's a good fire build? We've got a good fire build. What's a good, you know, whatever build? We've got it. If we already have it, I'm just going to refer to that. But if it's something new that we can do, we'll do it.
And we've done every elemental build we could have. At least one of every element. So there's something out there for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you got any more questions, you know, keep watching.
Yeah. Put it in the comments. We'll try and watch them as we can and hopefully answer as much as we can. So we love you guys and keep playing on.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out, y'all.